Good evening, everyone. We are on to the penultimate day of situation test of NIFT, and that's where I expect you to be really woken up, really excited, and go with all zeal and enthusiasm. And yes, not to forget a lot of things to be kept in your preparation box. The first thing that should be there in the preparation box is a very positive aptitude and approach. Well, friends, you know me, I am Rajendra Bhatia from Creative Edge. Friends, can we look into the hall card or your invitation card? I will just quickly remind you few of the things, like what all to be carried to the examination hall. My first suggestion that you should have been traveling by this time in case you are away from the center. Do not try traveling early in the morning to reach just in time. No, that's not the way we prepare. That actually take away a lot of mental peace, and maybe at time I have seen candidates almost shivering by the time they reach the examination hall. Now let us come on to more technical things. That is my elderly suggestion, that yes, you be prepared, be ready with a lot of things. Your hall card or your invitation letter do mention that your situation test is going to be a 2-hour work, 120 minutes. They provide you material, but they have also asked you to carry certain material. Firstly, do not forget the call letter and your admit card. These two things should be carried to the examination hall. Then of course the materials. I am sure you have purchased it and you have not kept it for tomorrow, unless your examination is on third, fourth or fifth. If the examination or the situation test is on 2nd of April, you should have been ready with a pair of scissors. I must tell you, in my childhood, a pair of scissors, I used to think there should be 2 scissors. No, a pair of scissors is the 2 parts of one scissor, but a big one is so that it can cut about A4 size sheet in just 2 or 3 strokes. A paper cutter and a craft knife. I will say carry both of them. Then a sellotape at least of 1.5 centimeter to 2 centimeter width. Do not take that thin sellotape. They have also put in the admit card name of one of the brand, I think is Scotch Magic tape. That is good enough. Then your dot pen and gel pen, blue and black both. So carry 4 pens. 1 ball pen, 1 gel pen. Apart from pencil, eraser, sharpener, a very good adhesive bottle with you, preferably Fevicol. Then ruler should be steel or that of the acrylic. I will still prefer to have a steel ruler so that in case you need to cut certain paper, you don't run it onto the scale, and the acrylic do get cut with the cutter. Then they have also asked you to take stapler. One of my students, Siddharth, I think he must be there live with me, because I told him that he should be expecting the question in this session. He asked me a very nice question, and I start with that. Actually, apart from talking about the material, I would like to talk about the question that he has asked. Are you supposed to do a sketch of the question that of the model that you are expecting to do. Friends, just not one sketch. Do 3 key sketches. Okay? Do you understand the difference between the final sketch and the key sketches? Key sketches are how you assume your model to be, approximation and different ideas. Before key sketches, also go for a brainstorming. I will talk about brainstorming, and maybe if you like I can give you example of how to brainstorm for this trophy what I am displaying on my screen. This is an actual work done by one of my students of earlier years, and I am going to talk about this trophy as well. So, how to face the examination we will be talking. So, first thing I have told you, yes, sketch not one, do 3 key sketches, out of which select or encircle or circle one final trophy that you are one final sketch that you are going to convert into the model. Okay. Second thing that the student has asked me is I think about the write up. Ridhima Sharma asking, will this video be available after the live ends? Yes, Ridhima, it will be available after the live is over. Nikita Lakhwani again asking, a small steel scale or a big one? 1 footer. It is mentioned in your admit card, 12 inches. That is good enough for your things to be cut. Don't carry those 2 footer or 1.5 footer, just take a steel scale of 12 inches. Now, you might have seen when you were preparing for situation test that repetitively there are certain favorite questions of NIFT. One of them is make a memento. What I am displaying on my screen is also make a memento. The memento that I have displayed is for environment protection. A memento to be given to a candidate who might have scored some marks or good marks for displaying environment protection. Okay. So, that I will discuss little later. Is write up a must? In fact, friends, I will give you something very interesting. If I were the examiner, how I would have taken the marks. Firstly, you all know that whatever you have scored in the written examination has been narrowed down to marks out of 80% of the total marks. In other words, 20% marks are allocated for situation test. Okay. Say you have scored 60% marks. That means out of 100 you have scored 48. Yeah. 48 marks out of 100. Now, out of 20, you are supposed to score further. Okay. So, what do you do? Again, for the model, you think you are not going to get more than 10 numbers. For the write up and rest of the action, I am going to tell you about that. You are going to get another 10 numbers. For such beautiful model, the trophy that you are seeing, my candidate would get only 10 marks out of 20, again a 50%. might have scored 60% marks in the written examination, your percentage will go down in case you are only giving the model. Then where are the other marks coming from? Key sketches. Key sketches, very important. Okay. Then rest of the marks for the write-up. If I were the examiner, I don't say I am imposing on any authority. I am not doing that. I am just trying to tell you that your write-up is going to be that important. Okay. So I was talking about what has been the pattern, memento, many a times, accessory design many a times, and a ramp for the fashion show has also been asked. So these are some of the common questions. I am sure you have already prepared. Tonight you cannot prepare for tomorrow, so at least you must have practiced quite a bit of it. Now tonight, yes, you can practice for at least the write-up. So let us talk about these things. This particular memento for the time being. Now this memento that has been prepared, first thing I suggested that you should have done a brainstorming. What is brainstorming? There are certain key words that you get in your mind and you just jot it down. Keywords regarding the question that has been given to you. For example, memento for environmental protection. Brainstorming will say sustainable material. Yeah, some of you can write it down also if you like. Second thing comes to the mind, recycled material. Sustainable or recyclable. That means one that you are using is recycled material, the other is recyclable material. That means the one you are using is a fresh one, but it can be further put to recycling. Then zero waste design. That means you are not wasted anything that was given to you. Now that brings a point, in case you are giving 5 material, you should be using maximum of the material. Secondly, you should be using all the material. If you are given 5 material, don't do a mistake of using 4, 5th one is not required. So I don't use it. Don't do that. Please remember, all 5 material have to be used and maximum possible. That doesn't mean that you put on everything on top of it. No, you use all 5 material, smaller quantity or a bigger quantity, try to make maximum use of it. Okay, so zero waste design. Now one thing, if you can add or bring about something in relation to solar energy, because you are doing a memento for environmental protection, you can bring in such lucrative words. I have used solar energy. That makes a sense to the examiner. Oh, he knows at least about the environmental protection. Then you can talk about customize as per the need of the question. You can also talk or maybe elaborate, saying that my design is attractive. So you write it down in brainstorming. I have to make an attractive design. Okay, so attractive design is the word. Now whenever you do a brainstorming, please try to select one word. For example, we started with sustainable material. Just write down sustainable is the brainstorming. Recycled material. So recycled. Recyclable material, need not to write in brainstorming. Recyclable is good enough. But zero waste you can have it as hyphenated word. Zero waste. Go as one design, one word. Solar energy, or you can say solar energy used. 2 words. Customized, attractive, low maintenance. Okay. Now, I am also trying to write down things about this design, which again, if you like, you can write it down. But my suggestion as the last moment preparation is select many of variety of design, and tonight only jot down salient features as to what all is to be written as the part of your situation test. Okay. Please do that. Prepare yourself for the write-up. Do not start searching words. Tonight only you should have many a word. Do not impose words, but at least utilize the words. Okay. I have written something about this design. I like to read it out so that you all are motivated with it, and maybe you find something similar to it. My design is inspired by nature. Now I am talking about the design I have displayed on the screen. My design is inspired by nature. It's a trophy for environment and by the environment. For the environment and by the environment. Means in my design I have used all organic and sustainable material like wooden planks, recyclable plastic, etc. For giving a personalized touch to the details are engraved on it. As per the theme, it is a depiction of the endless and immense resources of the nature. That has been given here. But now is the time to protect the environment before it is too late. Friends, one thing I must remind here, I have seen many students just writing down about the paper quilling, the material used, how it was used for making that design. They are writing all those things which I don't think are required at a competitive level. A competitive level, you should be talking about the subject. As I have just now given you an example. The examiner is able to see what you have used. For example, the clay was given, so a model of a human figure encircling the trunk of the tree to protect the tree is shown in the model. So, need not to much elaborate about the clay, need not to elaborate about the cardboard cutting or the paper quilling that you have used. Okay. You must be more writing about the subject, the theme that you have chosen, and what is speciality. Something more could have been given in writing. A short of time I could not write it down, but what is the further use of this design, that also, or furthermore use of this design. For example, the rolled paper that is there is the notice board onto it. So, you can write down a caption on that, something in relation to the environment. Let us all go green, that kind of a caption that could have been written on the memento itself, into that paper roll that has been used by the candidate here. So, that kind of a write-up will give you better marks than just writing about the material. Second thing that again the same candidate asks, what should I do with the leftover material? What do you think you should do about the leftover material? I come from Indore, the cleanest city of India for last 5 consecutive years. So I will talk about the cleanliness. Again, I tell you one thing, cleanliness. One of my friend may think, let me take all the paper cutting, keep it in my bag and leave the table very clean, just leave the memento over there, okay, and my write up neatly cleanly written. Friends, marks कट जाएगा उसमें, you lose marks. Do not take away anything from your examination hall. Then what to do with those small paper cuttings, small tidbits lying here and there? Those were initially provided, but while you are doing the utilizing the material, you still couldn't utilize the whole of the paper given to you, whole of the card sheet given to you, all the straws given to you, whole of the clay given to you. Maybe there are quite few things left out. Okay, then what do? You take them, assemble them neatly, either prepare a paper envelope and keep them inside, write on the envelope leftover material, or if you are not left out with anything to do with the envelope, then you have sellotape, tape the waste material, and at least you can get a small slip out of the paper provided to you, write down leftover material and leave it, but neatly tape it down. Don't tape it down to the sense that it goes to only garbage. Let the examiner see what is left out, how much is left out. So only sellotape would do the trick. Now this is an important point, friend. I think I even forget mentioning till yesterday in my course that I was running for the situation test. But friends, I am sure all of my students are also looking into it, apart from candidates all around India. So I am sure you will be benefited with this small portion of tips. Any other question, you are welcome. Let me also go through the one important thing I again can get through your question. Yes. The key sketches that I was talking about, the one you select, try to label it. Labeling with pen is all right, with pencil all right. Try to label it. About the write-up also, one more thing, do mention the material that you are using as against what will be the final material. In the sense, here you are using paper. For example, there you would like to use real green leaves. or branches. Okay. Here you are using a clay model. There you may like to use for the human structure, you may like to use a mannequin, a wooden carved mannequin. So do mention the final material. Okay. Like yesterday we were talking about hospital bench. You were making it with a silver paper, but a hospital bench will finally be made with an aluminum material. So do mention the final material that you expect your client to use, for which you are providing the model. I hope this is clear, loud and clear to everybody. I wish all of you all the best for your situation test. I am sure I have been able to give you enough of good tips. Do go through it again and again, and sleep tight, wake up healthy, and face the examination. All the best to all of you.